Hi everyone, welcome. Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. Welcome and thank you for joining me. Hope you had a great weekend and a good start to your week. As you know, every week I show you a new project, and for those people that share my video and comment shared down in the comments, they get a chance to win the project I made that week. So I appreciate it when you share, and like I said though, you have to comment share down below so that I know you shared, because we're maybe not friends on Facebook. Some people have their privacy settings set a certain way, so I can't see everybody who shared. So it's really important that you comment share down below. So last week, if you recall, I made these two cute little cards using the Mischievous Mice stamp set. It's a host set that's in the January to June mini catalog. And the winner of that is Jennifer Davis. So Jennifer, I'll be getting your cards out to you very shortly. So thank you for joining me. If you're watching me on YouTube, welcome. I appreciate that you're watching. Please subscribe to my channel and then click the little bell so that you get notified when I upload a new video. I do a new video most every Monday evening at 8. So tonight I have a fun fold for you, and I think I'll change the view and we will get started. So for tonight's card, I have this really fun kind of I don't even know what this is called. It's a kind of a flap. I'll have to find the name of this. I totally forgot to write it down. But I just think it's really not that much more difficult than a normal card, but it just has a little extra piece of pizzazz. So I had a request for to make some congratulations cards, so I thought I'd show you this card tonight. Okay, where is my... I have to be honest, tonight I'm feeling a little bit... I feel like I'm forgetting something and I don't know what it is, so hopefully I don't have to get up. But we're going to start with Pale Papaya. And this piece, this is the base. It's going to be 5.5 by 7.5. Because you can see right here, the card doesn't go all the way to the edge. Okay, so we've cut about, I think that'd be about an inch off. And then we are going to score that at 4.5 inches. Okay. There's that. And then the only other thing, to make the little mechanism action, that's also a piece of Pale Papaya, and that is 2 3/4 by 5, and it's scored at 3 3/4. And I don't know if you can tell, I've already scored it. I was getting busy when I was cutting, and I just scored it. Normally I like to do it here on camera with you, but it got away from me, so what can I say? So here is I'm gonna get my bone folder, and I'm gonna fold both of these. Get nice, crisp. Actually, you're supposed to fold toward the mountain. I folded that one wrong. So, okay. Bone folder gives me nice, crisp folds. And let's see, what are we going to work on next? I guess we'll work on this front panel here. I am using the Artfully Composed Designer Series paper that's in the mini catalog. And I'm loving the colors and the patterns in this paper. It's especially great during the winter when it's so cold and nasty out, and it makes me feel warm like I'm in a tropical place. This was actually my favorite pattern of this paper, and this is, I think, all that I have left. You get 2 sheets of each pattern, and I think this was my favorite, and that's all I have left. So otherwise I would have used it on this card. So start first. I have to look here because my directions are kind of jumbled, so I want to make sure that I get it right. So I have a piece of evening evergreen. It's 3 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then I have a piece of that designer series paper I just showed you, and it's 3 by 5 1/4. Okay, so we are just going to layer this. I just want to make sure I've got my measurements right. Yep, I do. Make sure this is going to fit on here. And see, it's a good thing I did because it is not right. So this is 3 1/8. Okay, so what size is this one? Let me double check here. That one's 3 1/8. So this is 3 1/8. You know what I think I did? I think I folded this wrong. So you know what? I'm going to go get another piece of pale papaya, and we are going to get that right. Okay. Sorry about that. I wasn't, so this piece, we're going to cut this. This is going to be 5 1/2. So it's essentially cutting it in half. And then this piece is going to be 7 1/2. I was busy talking, and I'm going to make sure that I score this in the right spot. That's 4. It's 4 1/4. Scored 4 1/4. Okay. I must have scored that at I'd scored it at the wrong place. Okay, so 4 1/4. Okay, let's see if we've got this right now. See, that's why it's always a good thing to kind of do a dry fit. I'm going to fold toward the mountain. Get my... Let's see. Are we on target here? Bingo. Okay. Back on track. That's an easy fix. No problem. Okay. Yep. Now we're on. I must have just not paid any attention to where I was scoring at. So I'm going to put this. Initially, when I first designed this card, I had not put this piece of dark cardstock in the background, but then I just thought it helped to make the designer series paper pop. So I ended up doing it. Okay, so we are at the beginning of March. So we have March and April left. And in May, we have the new catalog coming out. So that means that things will start to be retiring. Things that are good, we know are going to retire are the 5 in colors that are, let's see, I think they're Misty Moonlight. Oh, I know I'm going to forget one. Cinnamon Cider. I think it's Bumblebee. I think it's Magenta Madness. And, oh, what's the other one? It might be just Jade. I think these are the, yep, I think these are the 5 in colors that are going to be retiring here in just a couple months. And what I will tell you is that anything with those colors in it, especially ink pads, ink refills, sell out very quickly. Ribbons, embellishments, things like that. So I would encourage you, if you want to place an order, you want to get those things, do it now. If there's anything in the current annual catalog that you would be heartbroken to not get, I encourage you to place that order right away. Here's my Stampin' Up! Store website. Use that host code. It's much appreciated. Okay, so we're going to put the inside together. This is just an insert that is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. It's just basic white. So this is the little piece that is going to go across the front here. You'll see what I'm doing. I'm attaching the insert. I'm going to kind of center it. Now, on a project like this, sometimes this is a good time to use the liquid glue, the Tombow liquid glue, because it lets you have a little bit of wiggle room, okay? I'm just not today. So you can see I'm going to glue that piece down, and that's going to make our mechanism. So you're attaching it to the back of that. Whoops. Put a little bit more there. Okay. And I'm gonna just center this right inside. And there we go. And see, this is one of the reasons that we cut that section off of the front of the card, because if the card front and back were the same size, we wouldn't be able to fold this over. It'd have to be way over here on the side. So by doing this, it looks like a design feature, but really it's just a function feature. Okay, so now I have another piece of Evening Evergreen. I'm going to put that there. And this piece is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. Again, this was another one. Initially, I wasn't going to put it, but it just helped to make the design pop. Okay. There we go. Now I have a piece of basic white, and it is, let me find my 2 1/2 by 3 1/2, and it will go on there. Now you can see on this card, I rounded the edge. This one, you can't, you know what? I don't know which way. I think I'm going to go ahead and round it. You don't have to if you don't want to. This is our detailed trio punch. I just think it adds another little design element to the card. Okay, and I'm going to put that right on here. Now I saw where people had lined this up evenly, but I like to see the dark all the way around it. Okay, so I'm going to do that here. And I will put it right there. Here we go. Okay. Now we'll get to some stamping. I am using the Artfully Layered Cling Stamp Set and the Coordinating Tropical Layers dies. Okay. I'm using this big leaf here. I am actually stamping it in soft succulent on soft succulent, so it's a tone on tone. Okay. But I think it works nicely. There we go. That works great. And then if I were going to, I would just use that die to cut it out. But I have one all ready to go, so we didn't have to mess with die cutting today. So I just love the dies that go with this stamp set. Let me set this out of the way before I get ink. Yeah, when I was preparing, whoops, sorry, I had ink. Oh, every time I touch something, it seems like I had more ink on my hands. It was just one of those days. So, okay. So I am going to put that leaf right on here. And you know, again, initially when I was developing this card, I had stamped this on here. Just didn't like the way it looked. I just think by putting it on the cardstock and then die cutting it, it just gives it a little bit more dimension. Come on. There we go. See what happens on this tape, if you pull it, you know, when you get a long string, now you're pulling the tape off, so you have to get it started again. You need to make sure you have a tacky surface right there. Okay, now, I mean, really, you could put any sentiment on this you want. Again, someone asked for some congratulations cards, so I'm doing it. I'm using a piece of the pale papaya. This is 3/4 inch by 2 3/4 inch. And I pulled the congratulations stamp is out of the Peaceful Moments stamp set. I didn't have any other stamp sets with congratulations in it but this one. You know, sometimes you have a lot and sometimes you don't have very many, and I'm using Evening Evergreen. See, I had ink all over. I don't know. Some days are just like that. So I am going to ink that up. I'm going to center this. I'm going to put it, let it set for just a second. Whoops, it's a little bit faint. I'm going to try the other side. See if I do any better here. Let's see. I think they're both good. It doesn't make much difference. They're both about the same. Okay, let me close that up. And that was the Evening Evergreen. Now I'm going to use the Lovely Labels punch to give the edge of the sentiment the nice scallop. You can see this punch has two sides. This one's kind of more of a pointy curved. This one has kind of a square end, and that's the end I'm going to use. So it has slots for 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch wide pieces of cardstock. Even though this is pretty simple, I still like to turn it over and watch from the back. Just so I put it in the slot. That way I know it's even, it's straight. There we go. So which end was I going to use? I was going to use that side right there. So I have some of the mini dimensionals. I'm going to use those. And you know, you really could put, put the sentiment anywhere on here. You could put it in the middle, but I didn't want to cover up the detail on this leaf, so I put my sentiment down below, and there you are. It's as simple as that. It is a great card layout for a lot of different kinds of cards. Lots of different sentiments could go on there. Congratulations, happy birthday, missing you, thinking about you, anything. Using the Artfully Layered stamp set and the coordinating tropical layers dies. Like I said, don't forget to start thinking about what you want that might be retiring out of the catalog, and get it before it's gone. So thanks again for joining me. I will see you next Monday night with Stampin' with Denise. Bye now.